In fiction, the locked room mystery follows a strict rule. A crime occurs in a space where physical geometry forbids it. A door is barred from the inside, the windows are sealed, and the perpetrator vanishes into thin air. That architectural paradox stepped out of fiction and into reality on April 1, 2006, inside a crowded college bar in Columbus, Ohio. 27-year-old Brian Shaffer was a second-year medical student at Ohio State University. He was operating under immense psychological pressure, cramming for critical exams through consecutive sleepless nights, while grieving the sudden loss of his mother to cancer just weeks prior. Looking to decompress for spring break, Brian went out with friends. At 1:15 a.m., security cameras captured him riding an escalator up to the second-floor entrance of the Ugly Tuna Saloona. At 1:55 a.m., the lens caught him stepping outside the entrance to chat with two women. He said goodbye, stepped out of the camera's frame, and the bar closed. Brian never walked back down. A 6'2" man effectively evaporated from a second-story commercial property surrounded by a continuous, high-definition surveillance network. The South Campus Gateway complex bordered high-crime neighborhoods, so developers blanketed the facility with cameras covering every public transit point. To discover how Brian slipped through, detectives initiated a manual tally, cataloging every single person captured on video entering the establishment. They then meticulously matched every entry to an exit on the footage. Every patron who went up the escalator was accounted for, except Brian. This comprehensive audit proved there were no recording gaps or technical glitches in the camera loop. The data presented detectives with an impossible conclusion. Brian did not sneak past a faulty lens. He defied the structural boundaries of a sealed architectural box. Investigators first tested a disguise hypothesis. Could Brian have swapped his shirt, pulled down a hat, and walked out the front door, hidden in the exiting crowd? The physical constraints made this highly improbable. The main exit camera utilized a wide-angle, full-body perspective. Analysts reviewing the physical profiles of the exiting crowd would have spotted a uniquely built, tall, athletic man, regardless of his clothing. A structural audit revealed one unmonitored exit. A restricted staff door opened into a dark corridor leading to an active construction site. Navigating this zone meant traversing a pitch-black obstacle course of raw building materials, an open elevator shaft, and an exposed service ladder. Surviving this environment would be exceptionally difficult for a sober person, let alone someone highly intoxicated at 2 in the morning. Police deployed K9 units through the building, sent marine sonar teams into the nearby Olentangy River, and sifted through tons of local landfill waste. They found zero biological material and no discarded clothing. The only viable exit route required Brian to survive a lethal maze in the dark, yet somehow leave absolutely no physical trace of failure behind. Assuming Brian miraculously cleared the hazards of the construction zone and exited into the back alleyway, the investigation slams into a void of human motive. The theory of voluntary flight collapses upon inspection of his personal life. Brian vanished, leaving his car parked at his apartment, his bank accounts untouched, and his beloved acoustic guitar sitting in its case. The final logical hypothesis points to targeted third-party foul play. The unmonitored exit emptied directly into a street-level area known for elevated crime rates. But a violent abduction immediately outside the building clashes directly with the forensics. Police scoured the exterior perimeter and found a complete absence of blood pooling, scuff marks, or any trace evidence indicating a physical struggle. The structural mystery of the case obscures a profound human tragedy. Brian's father, Randy, spent 2 years relentlessly searching for his son before he was struck and killed by a falling tree branch outside his home in 2008. The family's enduring pain is compounded by agonizing cycles of false hope. In 2019, a photograph circulated online showing a homeless American man living in Tijuana, Mexico, who bore a striking facial resemblance to Brian. It took 4 weeks of precise craniofacial measurements and biometric analysis by the FBI to conclusively rule out the Tijuana lookalike. Today, the investigation relies on modern scientific safety nets. Investigators utilize advanced age progression modeling. Brian's genetic profile is integrated into the Ohio Link DNA database, and local nonprofits continue to fund private search efforts. The disappearance of Brian Shaffer forces us to confront an uncomfortable reality. Despite high-definition surveillance networks and exhaustive forensic methodology, a human being can slip through an architectural crack and simply cease to exist. Absolute certainty, even in our perfectly observable world, is an illusion.